Well, your favorite political streamer is here. And, oh, Bilbo's not on the chair, never mind. He was on the chair. He's abandoned us. Hi guys, welcome to live stream. Hope you're doing good. A little bit of a later live stream, but that's okay, because I was on with Wicked Virtue. Guys, there's so much stuff that's happened today. I was getting the topics ready, and at first I was like, damn, there's not really a lot to talk about. Well, unfortunately, well, I guess it's fortunately, right? Because we have stuff to talk about. But 8,000 things happened over the past, like, I don't know, 5 hours. It's absolutely insane. So we got a lot of stuff to talk about. First of all, okay. Guys, we're gonna start the stream off with some riveting news, some great news. Doesn't have to do with Halo. I switched the tabs. You guys wouldn't see it instantly. One of our favorite games is finally getting the recognition it deserves. I know there have been so many good games to release over the past year or 2 years or whatever amount of time you want to talk about. We had, I don't even want to list them. We had Concord. We had Dragon Age the Veilguard. We had Dustborn. We had Kill the Justice League. Insert game here. But our favorite, one of our favorites, won an award. Truly inspirational stuff. Dragon Age the Veilguard wins the Game of the Year at the Gaming Awards 2025. Listen, I thought people who were part of the LGBTQ, I thought they wanted to just be treated normal. I thought this was a choice for them and they wanted to be treated like normal. So why is it that we always have to pat them on the back? Sorry, hate to say it. Listen, live your life or whatever, but damn, you really do want special treatment, huh? The winners of the Gaming Awards 2025 have been announced, and Dragon Age the Veilguard is taking home Game of the Year and Best LGBTQ plus character for Rook. If you guys don't know, today there was a Ghost of GOTY presentation. I didn't watch it. It was only 20 minutes long. But Erika Ishii, the actress in that, has now won an award, an LGBTQ plus award for their presentation in their best character, whatever. Their best, what's the word I'm looking for? Not presentation. Best, whatever. Best voice actor of the year. I know what words are. Hosted at the Abbey in West Hollywood yesterday, Code Coven, first of all, red flag, took home the Industry Diversity Award, while Stream for a Cause won the Community Impact Award. So basically this entire show, this entire event is virtue signaling. Yep. It's literally just who virtue signaled the hardest. It's let's pat everybody on the back just for existing award. The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered, this game's like 80 years old now, received the Gaming Magazine Readers Award. I'm sorry, but a game that is 5 years old shouldn't be nominated for fucking squat in 2025. I don't care what category it is. I don't care who was affected positively by this game. It's been 5 years, guys. It's time to let the past be the past. It's time to leave it be. While Erika Ishii, who of course is going to be in Ghost of GOTY, received the Best LGBTQ plus Voice Actor of the Year award for her portrayal of Rook in Dragon Age. Yeah, because she's not in any other good games, and she couldn't win awards without it being an award specifically for an extremely small group of people that could be nominated for it. Sorry, hate to say it. I hate to call a spade, but it's the truth. This year's Gaming Awards raised money for the Gaming Foundation, a new charity founded to uplift and empower LGBTQ plus game workers and fans to effect change, celebrate inclusivity, and drive forward representation in games. Woo! So yeah, I thought I'd start off the stream with a banger. Absolute win, guys. This is so fucking stupid. This is so stupid. I do love gaming. Oh yeah, who doesn't? If you don't, you're a bigot. Chris, thank you for the $1.99. Frozen Ard better than Elden Ring. I don't know what the fudge you just said, but banned. What the fuck does any of that mean? It means... yeah. Hope that helps. I hope that helps. We need the based awards. Well, the real game awards is pretty based. But if we're gonna start making award shows for every person, we're gonna have... I'm starting the straight awards. They can't complain, right? I let them have the gaming awards. I'm gonna have the straight awards. I mean, imagine if we had an award show where if you were a diverse individual, you couldn't take part in it. How fucked up would that be? How fucked up would that be? Well, Vera, we need the gaming awards to represent the people in the industry, right, Vera? We need the gaming awards so that everybody can be represented. Get better at your job. Because if you were actually a good voice actor, or you actually made a good game, it'd be able to stand on its own and you wouldn't need special treatment. Sorry. Hate to say it. If you just were good at your job, you would have equal opportunity to be on the Game Awards stage. You would be able to be nominated for Game of the Year at the Game Awards. You don't deserve special treatment for being trash at your job. Just because in real life you happen to be something special. Or what you feel is special. Clint, thank you for the 2. I'm winning straightest gamer of the year. Are you? What makes you straighter than Chris? What makes you straighter than... enter person in chat's name? What makes you straighter, Clint? So yeah, I thought we'd start off the stream with this riveting news. Absolutely riveting, inspirational, truly insane. It's pretty fucking pathetic that a game this bad won Game of the Year at any sort of award show. It doesn't even matter what award show. Whether it's a legitimate one, whether it's a virtue signal one like this. Like, how do I say this in a nice way? I want everybody to feel like gaming is for them and represented or whatever. But if you think that this is the best representation and this is the best product that represents you, I feel bad for you. I really do. You're telling me that you feel the best represented by this steaming pile of slop? I would feel insulted. I feel insulted that there's just a woman in this game. As a woman. I'm insulted that my gender is even in this game. Never mind of feeling represented. I would not want this to be like a pillar of my community. So, seems pretty bad. I don't really think anybody takes the gaming award seriously. If you do, because I'm bound to receive some backlash when this uploads and it's not a stream anymore, because the people who disagree with me wait until I'm not live and I can't actually respond to them, and then they leave like 10 comments trying to attack me because they believe that I'm not going to see the comment, and then I sit and spend half an hour responding to them because they're not going to escape my backlash. This game is fucking trash. And the gaming awards are a joke, and it's honestly funny that a trash award show is giving an award to trash. Don't settle for less, you know? There's plenty of LGBTQ representation in games that's way better than this. Way better than this. Vera, why are you so toxic? Why are you so toxic, Chris? I didn't see you make a post in support of the gaming awards this year. Why are you a bigot? Why are you toxic? Why are you sexist? Why are you racist or ableist or literally insert anything? Why are you this way? Thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. Well, Veilguard should win Game of the Year. It literally blows. That's, yeah, don't reward bad behavior by handing out awards to literally anybody, or do you mean the people in my comment section? In Hogwarts Legacy, for example, but Wokies boycotted it. Yeah, I mean, Hogwarts Legacy wasn't like the most diverse game ever, but it did have a trans character who was pretty prominent in the story. And I know people kind of roasted that character, Sir Ryan. But like the character was fine. I mean, the character didn't constantly talk about their gender or sexuality or anything like that. Like, the character, for all intents and purposes, was fine. But, yeah, people boycotted it because they don't like J.K. Rowling. Which, they just, you know how these people are. They're trashing a woman who literally pandered to them for years because she believes in biological gender. Seems pretty weird. Okay, guys, so that was the first quick topic. Dragon Age the Veilguard has won the Game of the Year at the Gaming Awards. Congratulations to them, I guess. Congrats to them, I suppose. If that's really what makes you feel special, I feel bad for you. Sorry to hear that. Okay, oh god, it's so bright. Oh god, I'm blind. This is bigoted. This had popped up on my feed a couple hours ago, and I wanted to spend a bunch of time reading over it. We're probably not going to read through the whole entire thing, but I wanted to take some time to at least read some of it because it's just so fascinating. So, of course, over the past couple of weeks, we've all been talking about Stop Killing Games. And just a few days ago, Video Games Europe came out and put out a statement basically saying, gamers are wrong. The video game companies should be able to do what they want, and you need to stop complaining. Which, of course, isn't particularly shocking, given Video Games Europe has several board members who are from major companies. Warner Brothers Games, Epic, Activision, Microsoft, you name it, they're there. And, well, wasn't shocking that the video game companies want video game companies to be able to do whatever the fuck video game companies want. And the Access Media was defending them, saying, guys, this isn't the win you thought it was going to be. And Video Games Europe and these companies are not afraid. They're not afraid. They're definitely not scared. They just wanted to make a simple statement. Well, now Video Games Europe has doubled down in their fight to stop killing games because they have released a 6-page, single-spaced, 13-point document on why gamers are wrong and why they are correct. This, to me, screams they know they're about to get fucking sued. They know that they are fighting a bigger battle than they wanted to let on. They know they are going to face serious problems. If you're not afraid, right? You put out a quick statement. Yeah, guys, you know, we totally understand. This is your opinion. As companies, we have tried to find a good balance between games that are live service and online only, and you owning copies of your games, but also blah, 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 right? Even though it's all bullshit. If you're a company and you're not afraid, you either make a simple statement or you don't fucking respond. Because when you respond, all you are doing is adding more fuel to the fire. And that is exactly what they've done. We don't hate games journalists enough. Preach, Mr. Melancholy. Thank you for the 2. And thank you for the super stickers before the start of stream. Chris, thank you for the 199 6 pages. Brother, nothing's that serious. Well, it is when you're about to get fucking wrecked. Oh my god. I can't. I'm sorry. It's so bright. It's so bright. Oh, we could just do this. This is good, right? That's good. Well, it cuts it off a little bit. Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. They're not afraid, guys. Video Games Europe and all of these companies are not afraid. That's why they decided to release this 6-page document. We're not going to read the entire thing because we'd literally be here all night with the level of fucking commentary that I give. But I do want to read some of it because it's just so funny to see the attempts that they are making to seem like they are in the right. To make it seem like they are the ones who are correct. So, why providing continued support do not work for all games? Don't make games where you can't update it. Don't make games that can be ripped away from people. Protect consumer rights. Stop being greedy. Perhaps. The video game industry is committed to consistently providing players with high-quality, interactive gaming experiences and recognizes the passion and community that grows around its games. We're done. I don't need to read anymore. This is all fucking bullshit. This is all lie and propaganda. We're not even the full paragraph in yet, guys. The video, let me read that again. The video game industry is committed to consistently providing players with high quality experiences. Ah, yes, they definitely are. We just started. I'm already done. Ooh. The decision to discontinue a video game's online services is multifaceted and is never taken lightly and must always be a matter of choice. It's funny that you guys have choice, but we don't have choice. We don't have choices about what we own and what we don't. It's funny that we have choices. Right? Because we definitely do. Our opinions definitely matter to these companies. They're definitely taking our choices into consideration, right? Luckily, we do have a choice, and that's to not buy their trash. When it does happen, the industry ensures that players are given fair notice of the prospective changes in compliance with local consumer protection laws. If that's all local consumer protections laws give, we need to change consumer protection laws. How about that? See, that's what they're afraid of. They're afraid that people are going to be so loud that they're going to now face changes. And I mean, who knows, right? How seriously Stop Killing Games will be taken. But if Stop Killing Games fails, there's just going to be another petition and another petition and another petition. Like, at this point, it's just going to be domino after domino after domino. There's no way that people are just going to magically forget. Thank you, Mr. Melancholy, for the 2. High quality, my ass. These journalists, yup. Very high quality, guys. Take this seriously, okay? This document explains the reasons why a video game company may decide to discontinue the functionality supporting the online video game and why this may lead to the video game... Hold on, I have to restart. This document explains the reasons why a video game company may decide to discontinue the functionality supporting the online video game and why this may lead to the video game may no longer be playable. If you guys want an editor, let me know. Unlike a book or a film, an online video game is not a static work. Online video games are interactive entertainment that combine numerous elements of artistic and intellectual creation with software programming and server infrastructure. What? Oh my god, I never knew what a video game was! Oh my god, thank you so much for educating me! I really appreciate that. Okay. Online video games evolve over time after their initial release, providing consumers with regular new content, experiences, patches, and updates. This is highly valued by players and is required to compete in the market. It involves significant ongoing development expenditure over years, sometimes decades. Video game companies put significant investment into creating and developing the best interactive entertainment and experience for their passionate player bases. Two spaces, they put two spaces, they put two spaces. What the fuck? What kind of excuse is that, guys? Okay. Video game companies put significant investment into creating, and what's my $70? A fucking handout? My $70, or in this case, my $80 is an investment. It is a player investment. It is an investment in my time. It is an investment for my collection. And ultimately, you're not investing in a product to not get like anything. You're making money off of these products, and in some cases, you're making significantly more off of some players because you have the initial fee, you have microtransactions. Like, we're talking about a $200 billion industry. You're not gonna make me feel bad for you because, oh my gosh, the companies have to invest money. And what is my fund? A handout? It makes no sense. Absolutely none. The right to decide how, when, and for how long to make an online video game services available to players is vital in justifying the cost and fostering continued technical innovation. Yeah, and it's also my right to decide how, when, and for how long I should pirate your game. I mean, if buying isn't owning, is what it is. As rights holders and economic entities, video game companies must remain free to decide when an online game is no longer commercially viable and to end continued server support for that game. Yeah, I mean, video game players must remain free to decide when an online game is no longer commercially viable for their time and when they can end continued support for the company. I mean, flip it around, guys. Holy shit. How out of touch is this person? Well, clearly it was written and then written by another person and another person. You'd think that they'd be able to figure out very simple grammar mistakes, but whatever. Imposing a legal obligation to continue server support indefinitely or to develop online video games in a specific technical manner that will allow permanent use will raise the costs and risks of developing such games. Did I say I ever fucking cared? Did I say I cared? You're talking about companies making billions and billions and billions of dollars. Why would I care? I, as a customer, deserve a product that will be accessible whenever I want it to be accessible. It is what it is. Listen, I do not like government regulation in my entertainment. I don't want to be the person sitting here saying, I hope laws change, because we know when a government becomes involved, shit changes in negative ways. We're talking about murky waters here, right? I don't, in theory, want governments to get involved. I just want companies to do the right thing for their customers. But if they're going to force our hand, then I am going to sit here and say, well, we have to find a way for a government to pay attention to this. And that sucks. That sucks. That sucks. But you know who it's going to suck for more? Them. Because if there are government regulations and they have to have certain people part of boards looking at products, it's just going to cost them more money. So is it better, right, to pay the to pay the money now for a full product, to give players a full product, instead of ripping them off just so maybe you could get fucked over later? Like, what kind of mentality is that? It's not like you're not getting paid for these games to exist. And maybe these companies shouldn't be putting, in some cases, $500 million into a single experience. They talk about how, oh, it's so expensive. Maybe what you should do is go for smaller budgeted projects and then worry about adding an offline mode as well. I know, insane. Lex, thank you for the 2. They will just redefine games as service. Yeah. It says, though, it will have a chilling effect on game design and act as a disincentive to making such games available in Europe. It is far from a trivial modification or a simple addition to the game development phase. It would ignore material, reputational, safety, and security concerns. It will have a chilling effect on game design, they say. See, the problem with that is that what's going to have a chilling effect on games is when players stop purchasing them. The chilling effect is going to be seeing torrent websites absolutely skyrocket, because nobody wants to buy your games anymore. A chilling effect is going to be when you see those numbers every single year declining. Of course, it's always the safety. Usually, and you know, when it comes to like politicians, it's, oh, we need to protect the children. I'm not saying that in all cases they're wrong, right? But the argument they very so often go to when it comes to entertainment, right? Like, look at the formation of the ESRB. It was, oh, we need to protect children. Usually it's that, but now it's, oh, we need to protect you. We need to protect the adults. We need to protect the customers. You're not trying to protect anybody except for your fucking investors. You're not trying to protect anything except for your bottom line. You're not trying to protect anybody except yourselves. While there are video game companies that have elected to enable their online games to live beyond that is being proposed. What? While there are video game companies that have elected to enable their online games to live beyond that is being proposed their commercial viability, that's not right. This is and must always be a matter of choice, as it will depend on what is reasonable and appropriate for the specific game, games company, and audience. Surely. Surely. All video games, whether digital or physical copies, are licensed, as is the case with virtually all digital works when consumers purchase online games, regardless of the country of sale. What they acquire is a personal license to access and play the copy of the game they have purchased in accordance with the game's terms and service. And this is the problem! Brother, this is literally the problem. This is literally the problem. You're purchasing a license to access the copy. We do not want a license to access the copy. We want to own the copy. If you're having me license something, motherfucker, better be $10. This is the problem. This is the problem. Is that you're selling us a license that you can rip away whenever you want. You can rip away our access whenever you feel like it. You can press a button and ban our accounts. You can press a button and shut the servers down. This is a problem. One of the many, because there's many problems in the gaming industry, but this is literally one of the major problems that we are having. Lex, thank you for the 5. Companies do not want to sell products. They want to secure streams of revenue. This trend is spreading everywhere. Yeah, and I don't blame a company for wanting to make money, but at the same time, they need to be actually giving us the product we paid for. But you are correct. And Chris, thank you for the 2. They're just trying to guilt consumers into obeying. Oh, 100%. I mean, the reason why they've made all these statements is because they're fucking afraid. They haven't made these statements because they actually want to clarify for people. No, they don't give a fuck about clarifying. They just care about trying to convince people it's not that serious. It says, though, these clear intellectual property rights underpin the entire market and enable the strong investment that the industry has seen for decades. You know what I think is funny about this? Is that they're sitting here complaining about IP when everyone is about to lose their fucking IP rights. There was just a lawsuit like 2 weeks ago against one of the major AI companies where it was ruled that stealing, I believe it was like 2 million books, stealing these books to feed to their AI so their AI could learn was okay. If I was these companies, I would be fucking more worried about the fact that literally everybody is about to lose their fucking intellectual property rights. That's what I would be fighting against right now, not my fucking customers. Okay? Like, what? IP isn't going to matter in 3 years if all of these AI can just steal your work whenever they want. So that's right, guys. Sit here and use IP as an excuse when in a couple years it's not going to matter anymore. Because nobody is going to own their creation. God damn. Why an obligation on video? 2 spaces, 2 spaces, 2 spaces. Why an obligation on video game companies to provide only a limited type of end-of-life plan is disproportionate. Ah, yes, guys. Disproportionate. It is not clear what the initiators of the Stop Killing Games petition seek to achieve as a legal change. It appears to be a combination of a requirement to provide online services for as long as a consumer wants them, regardless of price paid, and or a requirement to provide a very specific form of end-of-life plan where the game is altered to enable private servers to operate. We do not believe these are proportionate demands. What you need to do is you need... I mean, it's really simple. We know that they're not going to refund people, so let's just throw that out, because they're not going to do that. What you need to do is you need to offer some type of form, even if it's a limited form, of an offline mode. If your game has live service slapped on it, you need to provide an offline mode. It's just that simple. It really, really, really is. Yeah. That could just be taking all of the maps and making a generic story to go with them. That could be just throwing all the maps together and allowing local co-op or something. Right? I'm not trying to give them the okay for doing the bottom of the barrel, but at least if they were doing the bottom of the barrel, in terms of what they were delivering, it'd be better than what they were delivering now, which is nothing, which is ripping content away from you. It says this is, online video game companies are complex operations. They offer interactive features that are supported by multiple servers, enabling functionality of ever-increasing complexity. How many times can we say the word complex here? This is integral to the modern gameplay experience that players expect as as consumer, sorry, they're not saying customer, as consumer expectations for more engaging and involving content increases, these online features are increasingly becoming intertwined in the overall gameplay experience as opposed to being limited to a dedicated online mode within the game. In many video games, this interconnected dependency makes it difficult to cleanly segregate online features from offline functionality. Here are the ways in which players and companies would be affected. Ah, yes, guys, this is how you're gonna be affected. Live service is the dumbest thing I've ever heard, especially if they're charging it as if you are getting something tangible. Yep. Very true. Number 1, player safety. Reduced or no player protection. Requiring games to run on private servers would result in the inability for game companies to continue to protect players from illegal or harmful content or conduct, as their moderation and player safety teams would no longer be involved. I'm just gonna say it and be honest. It doesn't matter if it's in a private server or not a private server. If someone wants to do illegal or inappropriate content online, they are going to. If someone wants to take your character and make the absolute most disgusting, degenerate fan art, it's going to be on the internet. It's not just going to be in your server. If somebody wants to make a group of people who played this game and then they want to go off and gamble, blackjack, and hookers and do drugs, they're going to do that on or off your game. You know, your game might be a voice chat for them initially, but illegal or harmful content or conduct would happen in or not in your game at all. So using that as an excuse is stupid. Number 2, increased security risks. Releasing game code or server binaries to facilitate the creation of private servers operated by players could expose games companies and customers to bad actors, malware, data breaches, or DDoS attacks, as if that doesn't fucking happen all the time. I play Call of Duty and I get DDoS attacked. I play Call of Duty and there are hackers. I could play the most elite advanced game that's on the market that released 2 hours ago and there would be a hacker in a game. That's just what happens. They get around this software you have us download. They get around the walls you put or protections you put in place, and ultimately it doesn't change anything. So you're sitting here using the excuse of player protections when it literally doesn't matter because we're not actually being protected. In any game that's online, there are going to be hackers. It could have come out 2 hours ago and there will be. Impact on companies. Boo-hoo. I think it's funny that they have more points in each category for impact on companies and IP rights instead of how they're actually going to protect players. They could have at least pretended to care. Also, go. Thank you guys. I appreciate the donations. Significant engineering and architectural challenges. Before live service games started popping up a decade ago, what were companies making? What games were companies making? Go back. You can't go back to those? Nobody fucking asked you to make every game live service slop. So just go back to making what you used to make. You could just make something like Call of Duty that has servers. It's not just live service. What is your excuse? What's your excuse, man? Significant engineering and architectural challenges. Clint, thank you so much for the 20. Games may have always been licensed, but technology didn't formally allow for carts, discs, and consoles to be remotely disabled. Companies shouldn't be able to use technology to circumvent traditional ownership rights. Absolutely fucking 100% preach, Clint. You are 1,000% correct. You're not wrong at all. Oh, also, Cabal, I had missed your dono. Thank you so much for the 5. If they more clearly advertise these live service games as available to rent, would anyone find that fair? I think it would be more fair than them tricking you into believing you're buying a full game. So, yes. Is that good enough? No. But it would be better if they just said you're renting a game. And then they do that and their sales drop by 50% because people see an $80 price tag and go, I don't want to fucking rent an $80 game. That's why they don't do it. So yeah, allowing players to run private servers would present significant engineering and architectural challenges for many games due to the way in which such online features are integrated with other proprietary, I know words, systems and services required for the game. Creating a private server compatible version would be a prohibitive cost, in some cases years or decades after the game's initial release, with only a small audience remaining. Make games the way you used to make them. It's just that simple. It really freaking is. 4, negative impact on investment in games. I don't give a fuck about your investments. I gotta keep it a buck with you. Fucking Thomas. I do not care about your investments. I do not give a fuck about a $1 billion company wasting $1 million to make a fucking offline mode. I just don't care. Sorry. Sounds like a you problem, man. If I'm paying $70 goddamn dollars for an experience, I deserve to have that experience when I want it, where I want it, how I want to play it. And now you want to charge $80 for them? No, it's not happening. Ensuring an online game can work without official server support requires a significant investment. Maybe you shouldn't spend $500 million on one single game. Maybe you shouldn't spend $70 billion on acquiring one company. Many of the costs the game companies would incur in implementing an end-of-life plan would have to be incurred towards the end of the commercial life of the game when it is no longer commercially viable to continue support. Requirements to implement such plans could lead to less risk-taking, fewer investments. That's already happening! You motherfuckers aren't taking risks! You're pumping out Final Fantasy 18, 19, 20, 21, 22! You're pumping out Perfect Dark Remake! You're pumping out Mario Kart 27. You're pumping out Call of Duty 28. You're not innovating anymore. What are you talking about? Brother, what are you talking about? You're not innovating anymore. You're not taking risks. Potentially fewer jobs. Yeah, well, I don't think this one fucking thing is leading to fewer jobs. Given Microsoft just laid off 4% of their entire workforce on a random Wednesday. Yeah, there's a reason why they aren't advertising these games. That's what I said too. Yeah. Nobody would be paying $80 to rent an experience. Hollywood Guy, thank you so much for the 6 months. It's been 6 months. Wow. Now that they're removing diversity, are other companies going to follow, or are they still going to be stubborn with it? I had done a video on it. We'll talk about it a little bit. There's nobody who's actually removed diversity from their games. It's journalists claiming that it's happening. And even so, even if there were companies removing diversity, it's funny that the journos are complaining. Oh my gosh, there are developers being forced to remove diversity, when on the flip side, they weren't complaining when developers were forced to add it. Thank you so much for the 6 months. I appreciate it. Thank you. Reputational harm. You guys don't have to worry about reputational harm because it can't get any fucking worse at this point. There is nothing that could be done to damage your reputation anymore. Allowing players to run private servers with online interaction possibilities could result in players using those games in a way that don't align with the game company's brand values, leading to a negative association with the brand, thereby harming its reputation. I don't think that's a point you guys should have made. I've just got to be honest. I know they're trying to make as many points as possible in this one 6-page document. That's not the argument I would have gone for. Because if you just go on social media and you type in Xbox right now, or Microsoft right now, their reputation is down the gutter. Nobody likes them. You've got execs trashing Microsoft. You've got gamers trashing Microsoft. You've got developers trashing Microsoft. Everybody. The impact on intellectual property rights. See, I think that it's funny that they're talking about being worried about protecting IP rights when they should be fighting the battles in court to protect IP rights against AI. If I was them, well, I guess this isn't gonna show because I'm not using a stream lab. Here we go. Microsoft has invested significantly in AI. Microsoft has made a total funding commitment of $13 billion to OpenAI, the company behind ChatGPT. Microsoft has also invested $1.5 billion in AI technology company G42, $80 billion in AI infrastructure in the fiscal year of 2025. See, the problem is that OpenAI steals the IP. It will steal entire books and movie scripts that are supposed to be protected, and then it feeds them into this AI and trains this AI, and they're getting away with it. So in just a couple of years, you're not going to have any fucking protections anymore because everything is going to be AI and there's no protection against AI. And also, like, I know Microsoft is one of the companies on this board, but not every single company is, in with Microsoft. Not every single company is Microsoft. So while Microsoft is protected here, the rest aren't. Let me see if I can find this real quick. No, I'm not going to be able to find it really quick. But, yeah, I mean, it's Microsoft. So, Microsoft feels like they can do whatever the heck they want when, really, all these companies are doing by also siding with Microsoft is screwing themselves over. It's Microsoft that's the reason why I can't take the impact on IP rights seriously. Robot, thank you so much for the $4.99. Titanfall 2 has private servers. Titanfall 2 is so good, by the way. Can I just talk about how much I love Titanfall 2? I'm so sad that we're never going to get another Titanfall game. And I like Apex Legends. It's still just not the same. Anyway, sinister and secure than the official games. All these excuses are hollow. I completely agree. All of these excuses are hollow, but they're trying to cover their ass from as many angles as possible. So hopefully, right, anybody looking at the situation will read it and go, yeah, you know what? They make some good points. I'm not going to sign this petition. I'm not going to side with consumers. But thank you for the dono. I hate the term AI. It's just algorithms. True AI is self-aware, and we're still a ways off. Not really. Not really. We're not that far off. Erosion of intellectual property rights. Mandating game companies to keep their online games operable post-official support would undermine their rights and autonomy in deciding how their IP is utilized. Competition from community-supported versions. Such a requirement could lead to community-supported versions of games competing with official versions. Yeah, well, maybe if your developers were fucking good at their jobs, they wouldn't have to worry about average gamers competing because you would hire the genuinely talented people and have them making a better version of your product for you. Sometimes game companies suck so much that consumers just have to do it and do it better. That's your problem, not mine, Buster. Forfeiture of licensing and reproduction rights. Constraints from third-party IP. Game companies often utilize third-party software and services which may have licensing terms restricting their use to the commercial life of the game or prohibiting sub-licensing to players. Constraints from third-party services. Games depend on third-party services such as platforms on which the game is offered to the consumer. Releasing the code for those services, which would be necessary should a legal requirement allow player communities to run a game, may not be possible as this would potentially be an IP infringement. See, the thing here is that we're not asking for anything specific. So in theory, they could have released a 6-page document on ways they could start changing the industry and then gauge player reaction. But they didn't do that. They're just sitting here going, "Wah, you guys are so mean to us. Don't you guys see all the good that we're doing for you? Can't you just shut up and consume product?" None of these are the consumer's problem, 100%. Lex, thank you for the 10. If I read a book and absorb the ideas, then later use what I learned to do something new, does that hurt the IP? How is AI different? Not defending, but honestly asking. I mean, it's complicated because the lawsuits are all over the fact that the IP, because in the case that I was talking about, the IP is technically being stolen to feed into the AI, so the AI comes up with different things, and then it's like a string of ideas. I wouldn't necessarily say that AI is that different, but it is, because AI can fulfill very specific requests. So I could go to like Chat GPT, right? And I could type in, or like with the Studio Ghibli situation, it took the Ghibli art style and just recreated it, even though it's a specific company's art style. Or you can go to ChatGPT and be like, type this sentence like Frank Herbert would, right? I don't support AI. AI does it without consent. And yeah. A book is read up on your own volition. Yeah. Yeah, GPT scraps your data. It's true. It's really true. Anyway, all of the above would also affect compliance with PEGI ratings. Where a game has a PEGI age rating and offers multiplayer functionality, the games company is contractually bound by the PEGI Code of Conduct to respect various obligations related to online safety and privacy. The inability to do so would expose the games companies to legal uncertainty. You know what would be fucking insane? Is if the ratings boards stopped giving ratings to games that did not also have offline functionality. The amount of games that would be releasing would be a fraction. I'm not saying they should do that. But if it started saying, if their fucking social credit score started going down because it doesn't have an offline mode, these companies would view development very differently. That's for sure. Notwithstanding the application licensing structure, all video games offered to players in the EU are subject to European consumer protection laws, which include robust transparency and fairness obligations on games companies and ensure that games companies act reasonably when terminating online support for a game. Yes, guys. Because shutting down Concord after 12 days of being online and giving a 24-hour notice is fair. That's fair. Yep. That is transparent. That is fair. That is reasonable, huh? European consumer protection laws provide customers with warranties and redress rights with respect to both the games and the physical medium on which the game is made available, but these laws do not transfer ownership of the game to consumers. Games are licensed to the consumer in accordance with their terms of service. These set out the terms upon which customers may access and play such games and their situations in which such licensed rights may be terminated. Consumers are informed that their access to online games and associated services may terminate and are informed with sufficient notice in cases where that doesn't happen. What the fuck are they actually talking about? These people are brain dead retards. If you get banned from the PlayStation services, if you're in the middle of a game, it will literally fucking kick you out and say, you have been banned. You can no longer access the PlayStation network or the Xbox Live network. You are banned on the spot with a flip of a switch. They do not tell you. There is no fair warning in the cases where this does happen. No. No, 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 no. That's not true. Transparency. Players must give reasonable prior notice. Okay, I'm sorry, I read that wrong. Players must be given reasonable prior notice before any termination of access to the game. No, 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 no. The Digital Content Directive provides customers with price reduction and reimbursement rights in certain circumstances, but also with repair and replacement rights if a game service fails to achieve conformity with certain required warranties. So then, I believe, as a customer, if you shut down the copy of the game that I own, you should be required to reimburse me by 50%. You keep 50% for the time I use the servers, and I get 50% back for you ripping it away from me. How about that? There you go. That seems fair. Refunding people 50%? Sure. Let's go with that. 40 bucks. I want 40 bucks back. We know that's never going to happen. These companies would like rather shut down than actually have to fucking pay their dues. Service duration. EU legislation requires that the service aspects of online video games be provided for a reasonable amount of time. They didn't fucking do that with Concord. Where's the lawsuit against Sony and the fucking... where are the... oh my god, why am I blanking? The fees. Where are the fees that Sony was slapped with over shutting down Concord? What was it, 24-hour notice? That doesn't seem very fair to me. That doesn't seem very just to me. I want to know how much they paid in legal fees. Bilbo. I know you're there. He's under the blanket, I think. I want to know how much Sony had to pay. Oh, that's right. They didn't fucking have to pay anything. Because these are not actually enforced. Fair terms. The Unfair Terms Directive prohibits game companies from imposing terms on customers that significantly imbalance the parties' rights and obligations to the detriment of consumers. It's all just lies. It's literally just them sitting here lying the entire time. I agree. Pay the customer back. Or you sold me a copy, period. This has to stop. 100%. They refunded all Concord digital purchases, at least. They did. Well, they did for the digital ones. Physical ones didn't fucking get refunded, but... the point is, yeah, they don't in all cases. I guess it with Concord... you got 12 days of service and a refund in a lot of cases. Not all of them, though. But then again, we don't know how many copies of the game actually sold in total. So I guess that's why ultimately Sony didn't get slapped with anything. Because if only fucking 25 people are buying something, they're not going to be slapped with fees. I don't care, though. I believe that they should have gotten slapped with fees. Because they did not give enough of a notice. And... they didn't keep the product up. Video game companies are committed to the preservation of games and their cultural value. Woo! Are they? Are they really? Are they really? No, they're fucking not, bro. These companies don't give a shit about video game preservation. They do not care at all. Name 3 things that they've done for video game preservation. Then, Video Games Europe, list 3. No, they do not care. They literally could care less, man. It is important to separate the legal proposals being made by the petitioners for specific end-of-life requirements for commercial video games from the question of the preservation of games as a creative and cultural works. Video Games Europe and their member companies are committed to and actively support serious professional efforts to preserve video games and recognize the industry's creative contributions under circumstances that do not jeopardize game companies' rights under copyright law. My problem with this statement is that at the beginning, right, they are arguing that by leaving servers up in an unofficial capacity would be IP infringement, but then they go on to say that they support communities' creative contributions, which are IP infringement. So which is it, bro? Do you care about IP infringement to the point where you feel emboldened to not give people their money back or give them a full product? Or do you actually care about your community's contributions? Because in this case, right, what they're saying is that from their initial argument, any sort of unofficial mod, patch, server is instantly jeopardizing the company's rights under copyright law. That's what they were arguing initially. But now they're arguing that that's not the case? How does that make sense? It can't be both. You can't say that you allow it in some cases, but then earlier you said you never allow it. Okay. I mean, say what you want, I guess. We all know that this is a lie. We all know that you do not care about video game preservation. You've never cared about video game preservation. If you did, you would be putting much more money and much more time into making sure your back catalog of games, or a larger back catalog of games, was easily acceptable. Laughing at this show, wanting to tell people what to do in this chat. Who's the shill? Whoa, 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 whoa. Wait, I'm missing someone shilling? Hold on. Who? What shill? I don't see a shill. Wait, I want to argue too. I want to argue too. Do you get it? At 16-bit mascot? Mascot's the show. What did mascot say? Uh-oh. The government should vest in no tax paid time, money, etc. Yeah, I don't know what we're talking about. I guess I'm missing it. Jeez. Damn. Vera wants to get in there. I do. Oh, hold on. I found it. Hold on. I just want to see. I want to see the argument. You guys, look, I don't mind game preservation. I think it's cool. I do like physical copies of games, okay? Just going about the government and law changing isn't the path, then what is the path? Okay. It's fine if you do not believe getting the government involved is the right path. I don't want to get the government involved. What's the alternative? No government. I don't want to get the government involved. But what's the alternative? Sitting here doing a live stream isn't going to change a company's mind. Companies need to be slapped with fees, and companies need to feel the burn, I think is the best way to put it. Law doesn't need to change. If you bought a game and the dev lost money to not support it anymore, good luck getting anyone to care. They can change their own legal terms with what they sell you guys. Yeah, I think I've missed too much to be able to go back and see what the argument is. But I did just ask that new question. Is there an answer? No, you just have nothing relevant to say. Whoa. I just asked you a question. I just asked you a question, man. I'm waiting for my answer. I'm pausing the stream. Viewers in the chat are discussing copyright laws, game preservation, the role of government, and the corporation of the gaming industry. Some viewers are criticizing corporations while others debate the merits of specific games like Gollum and Concord. Hey, I caught the chat summary before it disappeared. I caught it. I caught it. Let me read this last one, and then I'll read a bunch of chat. For examples, members regularly donate game copies and hardware to preservation organizations and support museum expeditions featuring games. Which ones are official? I have never heard of a video game company actually backing any sort of video game museum or preservation efforts. Never have I ever. Other video game companies have undertaken the gigantic task of creating video game libraries to support the preservation of games. Which ones? You list one. You list one, man. That's it. What do you mean, man? That's literally one. That's not enough. That's not enough, bro. It's Embracer! Oh, fuck you. It's Embracer? Aw, shit. Fuck you. No, that's not good enough. Give me more. Fuck Embracer, man. Embracer doesn't care. Embracer literally doesn't care. Okay, bro? What is this, a fucking Planet Fitness? What is this ugly color? That's my locker. It's funny that you... I don't know if I'm a conspiracy theorist here. Can anybody go to this? Can you actually confirm that people can go to this? Because this, to me, just seems like a glorified YouTube set. Hey, it's a Vectrex. Nice. This just seems like a fucking YouTube set. Are there pictures of, like, anybody legitimate actually going there? Can anybody actually see your efforts? Do you have YouTube? This is literally just a fucking set. Sure, guys. Surely about 75,000 objects. Was this a tax write-off for Embracer? Hold on, let's go to their X. How active are they? Whoo! A big 4K, baby. A big 4K-er. Whoa. 13 likes. Gigantic effort, chat. Gigantic preservation effort. So proud of them. So proud. Yeah, it's all bullshit. I mean, this is literally just all bullshit. Seems really, really, really stupid. Where'd my tab go? Where's their statement? Fudge. Hold on. Hold on. I have to find their statement again. Oh, I have it. Never mind. Yeah, this is all just doofus dumb. This is why nobody takes them seriously and why we're pointing and laughing at them. Actually, let me bring that tab back up so I don't lose it, because I don't want to forget that my favorite game ever won an award. Anyway, that's the end of the topic. We did significantly more reading of that than I initially anticipated. But I'll read chat for a few. It really just looks like an upscaled board game store. It really does. What kind of preservation are they actually doing there? I don't think any. I really don't. Just paying for something does not give you ownership. You can pay for someone to bring you a drink, for example. You're paying for the drink. Huh? I'm confused. good luck getting the drink back after it's purchased and used. Yeah, I mean, you can't. How many online games in there that can't be played? It's a good question. Why don't they give us that fucking statistic? AI made that room, I bet. Probably. We gotta get Vera on the show. When will you finally show off your collection? Well, my collection's big, so it would take a long time to show everything off. Unfortunately, there's never gonna be a possibility of it being all in one video. I have way too much stuff, way too scattered. Embracer group. For fuck's sake, BlackRock again. Yup. Embracer is the opposite of embracing. Yup. Supported the use of. So it was an exhibit for a temporary piece. Shh. Stop calling them out like that. Stop calling them out like that. They're just trying to preserve in the video game space. Bilby room tour. I mean, this is literally the room. I mean, I have lots of other stuff that's not in here, but there's a lot of stuff that I just would not be able to show off, like my comic book collection. There's no way I'd ever be able to show that off. Some of my tech I wouldn't be able to show off. But yeah, I mean, that's what the second channel's for. I'll slowly but surely probably put up videos on there showing off just random stuff. But yeah, I'll never be able to show off all the shit I have. I have too much random stuff. Lots of little stuff as well. The drink also does not last forever. Yes, but one is a product that you physically consume. Another is an image on a screen. Those are two wildly different things. It's not the same. Favorite comic book character? Thank you for the 2 Lex. You guys already know it's Batman. There's no competition. Oh yeah, by the way, I saw Superman. It was very mid. I really liked Mr. Terrific. I thought he was really good. I think David Cornsweet is a good actor. I just think James Gunn is fucking goofy and not in a good way most of the time. I love Lollipop Chainsaw. Not that he had, like, written the entire thing. But it's very... Okay, most of the action feels like action I saw 3 years ago in The Suicide Squad. I didn't think it was bad. I just didn't think it was good. You saw Superman? Wow, so he is real. He is. He's a little whiny bitch. Okay. I don't hate the idea of having an emotional Superman, but the problem is there's no character growth by the end of the movie. You know what I mean? If by the end of the movie he had grown as a character, it'd be better, but he didn't. He's just a little whiny. Give me an example of you getting wronged as a consumer of a game. What does that mean, getting wronged? I feel wronged by being charged $70 for Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. It was buggy and broken at release. I feel wronged for the state of Starfield. I feel wronged based on the state of Fallout 76. I feel wronged by Mecha Break having $50 microtransactions. I feel wronged by literally every mobile game I've ever downloaded ever. I feel wronged from a game like Dragon Age the Veilguard, narratively speaking. I think you should probably read what Stop Killing Games is. And that's all I'm going to say. I don't think that 16-bit is like specifically trolling, because they've been around in our community for a while, right? But Yeah. Literally running on servers that are paid for. Online games are always a service. Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. Read the petition. Mascot. Thank you, Stark, for the 2. Yeah. I would say you probably need to read the petition. I'm not gonna talk about it anymore. Paid for by the company. Servers are not paid for by a company if I am paying for a video game. That's the last thing I'll say. Companies are paid to deliver a product. Yes, part of my purchase goes towards, you know, I know it's small, right? And they expect a large volume. But the reason you pay for a game is because employees had to get paid, but also to maintain servers and things. I don't pay for a game out of the charity of my heart. I pay for a product. And if the argument can stop here, because ultimately, if a company wants to end a service, they should refund us 50%. If my service or my product is no longer in service, I shouldn't have to pay for it. I don't buy a fucking Boost mobile phone from Walmart for $50, and then when Boost Mobile goes out of business, keep paying the fee. It's not the way that it works. It is what it is. Chat! But apparently, guys, they're not afraid. These companies are not worried. These companies are not afraid. They definitely know what they're doing. And you're wrong. You're just wrong. That's all they really have to say at the end of the day. Yeah. It is what it is. Okay. Yeah. I agree, boxers. It should be stated as a rental instead for a smaller fee. I don't think any of us have any hope for Halo anymore, right? I thought Halo Infinite was good, but again, they didn't really update it. They didn't really add any new content to it. It was pretty fucking trash. Okay, I'm done reading. I swear, guys, I'm done reading. No more arguing in chat. I don't think any of us particularly expect the next Halo game to be good. I don't think any of us really have any high hopes for Halo anymore. But apparently, the devs are unhappy about the next game amid the layoffs. Apparently, they're pissed at the state of the new Halo game, which... Listen, I'm just pissed at the state of Halo in general. At least 5 employees at Halo Studios have been fired as part of company-wide layoffs at Microsoft on Wednesday, according to a developer with knowledge of the situation. An estimated 200 to 300 people remain at the studio. Employees across Microsoft's Xbox division received an email from Microsoft Gaming CEO Phil Spencer Wednesday morning addressing organizational shifts hitting the team over the coming days. Halo Studios employees who were laid off received an additional invite to a meeting with organizational leaders. The 2 very long hours later, the team's call began. Amid discussions of severance packages, the reasons provided for the firings aligned with Spencer's memo to increase agility and effectiveness. I'm personally super pissed that Phil's email to us bragged about how this was the most profitable year ever for Xbox in the same breath as pulling the lever on the layoffs, the developer told Engadget. I wasn't sure what part of that I was supposed to be proud of. What he doing? Where he going? Bilbo? Yeah. Okay. Sure. He's just a comfy cat. He a comfy little guy. Halo Studios is currently working on multiple games, including the next mainline Halo installment, and it's the steward of Halo Infinite, which is quietly spinning down its content cadence. The mood at the studio is tense, especially when it comes to one project that was recently in crisis, according to the developer. I think that they're working on the next Halo game, and I think that they're also working on a remake. I don't know what they'd be remaking or anything like that, but I don't know what else they would have in the works. Like, I guess they could be doing another Halo Wars, potentially. They could be doing a brand new spin-off, but I don't know about that. Hello? Oh. Hi. I'm always being glared at. Oh. I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking about you. I would not talk about you in such a manner. Hi. 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 I'm not allowed to move. I'm been told to stay in my lane. Hi. Hello. I don't think I'm allowed to talk to him anymore. I don't think he likes that. Anyway, I'm just gonna keep doing this. I don't think anybody is really happy about the quality of the product right now, they said. There's been a lot of tension and pep talks trying to rally folks to ship. The studio recently teased that it would reveal what it's been working on at this year's Halo World Championship in October. There's a fucking Halo World Championship in October? I've never heard a day in my life about a Halo Championship. Never heard of it. Maybe that's a problem. Right there. Oh, he's listening. Yeah, I should be careful. It says Halo Studios was rocked by layoffs in 2023, back when it was still called 343, and that culling mostly affected people on the campaign and narrative teams, including Halo veteran Joe Staten. This is also the reason Halo Infinite hasn't had a continuing storyline since that time period. Yeah, and that's fucking retarded. That is so stupid. That you have something like your biggest mainline, well, your biggest and most recent mainline Halo game, it doesn't have any ongoing content because you literally fired the guy who would have continued the story. Like, what do you mean? Today, Halo Studios employs a blend of full-time employees and contractors, with junior producers and quality assurance roles generally contracted. This is insane, okay? Every fucking article I read now about developers, I'm constantly hearing about juniors. Stop hiring juniors and pay for the industry veterans. You got to. 343 Industries came under fire from fans for the launch of Halo Infinite, and over the years, several ex-employees have spoken out about the studio's reliance on contractors, who typically work with the company for a maximum of 18 months. The employee I spoke with said that since 2023, there's been a general shift towards working with contracted studios rather than individual contractors in the United States and Europe to speed up Halo production. This mirrors the way other major FPS franchises like Call of Duty and Battlefield are developed. Listen, I don't care how you develop a game as long as you are developing a game that ends up being good. I just don't care. And if that's what studios feel like they have to do to make a game that people are actually going to want to play, that's perfectly fine. But yeah, that's not usually how it goes. Meister, thank you for the 5. It's just like that meme of don't ask questions, just consume product, then get excited for the next product is what these corpos want us to do. 100%. You are not fucking wrong. You are not wrong. Okay, guys, we are no longer talking about stop killing games. We are no longer talking about it. If we were talking in a productive manner and we were talking respectfully, then we could keep talking about it, but we are literally not. Well, not everybody's interrupting the chat, but I don't like calling out people specifically. If you feel like you are disrupting the chat, please don't disrupt the chat. It is what it is. You literally keep responding to me directly, so I'm trying to ask your actual argument. Read Stop Killing Games. That's what his argument is. Xbox in general feels year behind the curve in game development, and it leads to a lot of wasted time and effort, the employee said. At the same time, multiple departing team members have spoken warmly about their time at Halo Studios and the people that they worked with. The layoffs at Microsoft on July 2nd affected 9,000 employees globally, including 830 in Washington, where Halo Studios is based. The Xbox division endured significant firings, game cancellations, and studio closures. Okay. Listen. Thank you, Robotnik. I was just about to do it. Listen, mascot. Come back when we're not talking about stop killing games anymore. Come back with a different mindset, talking about a different topic, and we'll all be fine. Robotnik hit the trigger before I could. Because, well, I think 98% of the people in this chat agree, and it's fine to disagree, right? It's fine to disagree. You can have your own opinion that is wildly different from everybody else's in chat. But like, voice it and move on. You know, like my topic, right? I voice my opinion, everybody else voices their opinion, and then we move on. I disagree. Do you, Drew? Do you really? Under the Xbox banner, Rare's Everwild and the Initiative's Perfect Dark reboots were canceled. The Initiative was fully shut down. Forza Motorsport developer Turn 10 Studios reportedly lost a vast majority of its employees, and Rare's ZeniMax Online, King, Raven, Sledgehammer Games, and Halo Studios have all reportedly been affected. ZeniMax president Matt Fior, is that how I say it? Faror? RAR XD. After 18 years of leading the studio, and it's being reported that the veteran Rare designer Greg Males is also gone. This is retarded. You should not be getting rid of... I've said it a million times. You should not be getting rid of veterans. You should be getting rid of the juniors who are fucking trash at their jobs. Opinions. I hate opinions. Yeah. Don't derail the stream. You disagree on derailing the stream? You disagree. Don't derail the stream. You want people to derail the stream. Whoa. Chill. Xbox is already dead and there's no getting around that. I don't think that Xbox is dead primarily because Microsoft has $1 bajillion that they could throw at Xbox. Microsoft is increasingly focused on AI, a shift that's propelled its stock prices to new highs. At Meta's LlamaCon? That says LlamaCon in April. The CEO, Satya Nadella, said that as much as 30% of the company's code is now written in AI on some projects. Activision in February admitted to using AI in Black Ops 6. It's unclear how much AI has to do with the latest round of layoffs, but use of Copilot is no longer optional within Microsoft. Yeah, nobody gives a fuck about all of this, to be honest. Nobody cares about if it's 1% or 100% of AI. People don't like AI. Nobody gives a fuck. Yeah. See, that's a problem. That's a problem. Yikes. Whoa, Crafton! Oh, Crafton's such a good company. Crafton's so good. Crafton's such a good company. Crafton says former Subnautica 2 leadership abandoned their responsibilities. What a great response from them, honestly. So they're talking about how apparently there are some disgruntled employees about Halo. Now, I'm guessing that Halo is in a bad state, just judging by the people who are running Halo. But let's say, even for argument's sake, that this is just a disgruntled employee who is dramatizing the situation so that they have an article written about them. This is the problem. This is the problem with Halo. Halo switches in-game cosmetics from Pride Month to Disability Pride Month as soon as June ends. Microsoft rebrands Halo developer 343 Industries to Halo Studios, announces multiple new projects in development, and claims they are changing the recipe for a new Halo game. Yes, guys, because we definitely fucking want to play a new modern Halo. That's definitely what people care about. People are definitely going to show up to support your modern audience slop like they have been for supporting these fucking Disability Month and Pride Month cosmetics. And listen, it would be one thing, right, if in Halo Infinite, I'll get to that in 1 second, it would be one thing if in Halo Infinite, you could just put any sort of like color modifications on your armor that you wanted, like in something like Mecha Break, and then you happen to do the trans flag colors or something. If you want to do that, go for it. But to sit here and virtue signal as if you guys give a fuck, you guys don't actually give a fuck. Halo and Microsoft, they don't actually care about your sexuality. They don't care about your disability. They don't care about your gender. They don't care about your culture. They care about making money off of you. And I'm not necessarily blaming Microsoft and every other company to want to make money, but also they're doing it and you're promoting them and you're saying, slay, queen, because they put a pride skin in a game when that's nothing to praise them for. Jeez. Anyway, thank you, Montesquieu, for the 55. It's not much, but here's some compensation for the low IQ points. We all lost that idiot bag there. Please accept my apology on his behalf. I didn't have to read it out loud, you said, but I did. Thank you for the 55. Much appreciated. It is what it is. Everyone's gonna have their own opinion. It's just that, you know, when you have your own opinion, voice it, and then we move on. That's what I do with my topics, right? I'm voicing my opinion on Halo, I move on. I voice my opinion on Dragon Age, move on. We just gotta do what we gotta do, which is keep on keeping on and all that. It doesn't take much to make these idiots who made their pride flag their personality happy. Yeah. I mean, if seeing a skin like that in a game makes you happy, I mean, congratulations. I wish I was that easily enthused. I wish that was enough for me. But it's not going to be for the majority of people. The majority of people are going to see that and say, yeah, that was really fucking stupid of this company to do. And we don't trust this company. We don't believe this company. And we shouldn't believe this company. And in the case of Halo, judging by the other information we've previously gotten about how they're changing the formula and with all the Pride Month virtue signaling they do, it's not particularly shocking to hear that apparently staff are reportedly unhappy with the next Halo game. I haven't even seen it yet, and I'm already unhappy. I'm already disappointed. I'm already worried. So, like, sure, maybe they are unhappy, but also, it's been how many years since Halo Infinite came out? I think it was 2021. Halo Infinite release date. Oh, I did not spell Infinite correct there. I did not. Yeah, 2021. That's crazy. That's insane. Halo used to be the money maker. Oh, I saw this post the other day. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find this post real quick. Is it here? No, it's not here. It's not here. I know it's here somewhere. I know it's here somewhere. It was a good post. Here it is. Found it. I blame the dev time and budgets for modern video games and for what's going on in the industry. During the 7th generation, we had 3 Mass Effects, 3 Batman Arkhams, 3 Dead Spaces, 3 Bioshocks, 8 Rockstar games, 2 Fallouts, 2 Elder Scrolls, 5 Halos, and 4 Gears. Yep, this is the problem. But games only come out every few years. And their budgets are so big so that they're cinematic. Nobody gives a fuck, bro. People just want good games. People want games to actually be releasing. Pretty bad. Zippos, thank you so much for the 20. I am late to the stream. How are you, Varen? Everyone, doing good. Also, is it just me or Ghost of Yote, female lead, literally modeled and voiced by Erika Ishii? That's because it is modeled and voiced by Erika Ishii. What I'm about to tell you, my friend, is about to blow your mind. It is. It is. Her. Them. I don't know. Her. It. They. Them. I wumbo. You wumbo. He, she, we wumbo. Anyway, thank you for the 20. Much appreciated, guys. I appreciate all your donations, your support. Remember when Halo Infinite was supposed to be the base going forward, that they could just add missions and campaigns on? Now they are abandoning Slipspace Engine for Unreal. Yeah, it's true. Unfortunately. It, they. I don't fucking know. Erica, she. Erica, she? Why didn't this... Oh, because I was spelling it like a normal person with a C instead of a K. Gender. Water. All pronouns. Wow. That was some very good information that I just obtained. Some very good information. Burger King. Guys, because of the where the fudge is it? The not afraid topic, right? We didn't get to half the topics I wanted to talk about tonight, but that's okay. Because it is what it is, and there's always time to talk about other stuff. Zippos, thank you so much for the 10. Holy shit, I knew it. My eyes do not deceive me. Erica Ishii equals female protagonist for Ghost of what? Yes, it is. It is her. Them. It. They. It is. Them. Also, Zippos, you didn't hear the good news. I'll repeat it for you. Erica Ishii just won an LGBTQ plus Game of the Year award for Veilguard for their performance in Veilguard. I know! Insane, right? I think I hate video games. What? Rover, when did you come to this conclusion? Rover, we're gonna need the deets. When did you come to this conclusion? I've always known that I hated video games, and I've never even fucking played a video game. I'm a political streamer, if you didn't know. So, yeah. I mean, I've never played a video game in my life, but I can imagine I'd hate them. Veilguard deserves Game of the Year 2025. Are you excited for Wu Chang? Absolutely. I cannot wait to play Wu Chang. And we'll be playing 24 hours early because the devs are letting me. Recently. What? Okay, why? What? Rover? Alright, one more question. Rover, follow up. What was the game that made you realize you hated video games? I know there's a lot out there. But what was the game? Was it Veilguard? Erica Ishii's not going to be happy to hear that. Was it Dustborn? Poor Rover. It's okay, Rover. This is a political stream anyway. I know. I'm actually a Chad political streamer. I'm the next Hassan. What can I say? Yes! Vera is the #1 political streamer. How much you want to bet they're trying to cancel Wu Chang? I haven't seen any hit pieces on Wu Chang, really. So... maybe they won't. It doesn't really make sense why they wouldn't. Alright, I guess the last topic of the night is a follow-up to a video I did earlier. It's pretty good. Earlier, I did a video on Subnautica. Now, I understand with Subnautica 2, there's a lot of questionable content, right? They decided to go in the direction of a black male and female instead of the character that was in the first game. On their website, they are pushing their DEI responsibilities and all that, which, of course, is just a major red flag. We all knew that it was going to be bad, or it was going to... not it meaning the game, but but the situation surrounding this studio was bad just because they sold themselves to Crafton, and then 2 years later they start pumping out DEI initiative messages on their web pages. And it was delayed into 2026, and Crafton allegedly, allegedly decided to push back the game so that they did not have to pay out the $250 million bonus to the developers. Crafton has now released a statement on this. They've now said that's not true. And the developers, or the leadership, was lazy, I guess, is their best excuse to not pay out $250 million. Zippos, thank you so much for the 20. I've been looking for more story of Wu Chang. Did you know Wu Chang is just a nickname? I forgot her full real name. Yes, it is a nickname. I don't remember what her real name is either, but I remember the developers had posted about it. But stay tuned. There's tragedy behind her story, and I can't wait to learn more about her. I can't either. I'm super fucking hyped for this game. Thank you so much for the... thank you so much for the $50 in total. Much appreciated. Thank you, thank you. So Crafton says the former Subnautica 2 leadership abandoned their responsibilities. Now, it wouldn't shock me that these crypto bros got lazy because they clearly sold their company to Crafton so that they could get this $250 million bonus. And everyone can do what they want, right? They could sell their company if that's truly what they wanted to do. But they complained. What's mind-boggling, right? Is that now that this has happened, they're complaining that they got fired from, oh, I got fired from the studio I started. Maybe you shouldn't have fucking sold your company. If you cared about your company and you wanted to always be a part of your company, why would you sell your company? What? Are you stupid or whatever? Are you literally fucking stupid? Crafton, the publisher behind Subnautica 2, has responded to the concerns and claims circulating regarding the state of the game, recent leadership changes, and its developer Unknown Worlds, and the reported $250 million payout plan for the developers later this year. Subnautica 2 was originally planned for an early access launch in early 2024, but the timeline has since been significantly delayed, the publisher said. Crafton made multiple requests to Charlie and Max to resume their roles as game director and technical director, respectively, but both declined to do so. In particular, following the failure of Moonbreaker, Crafton asked Charlie to devote himself to the development of Subnautica 2. However, instead of participating in the game development, he chose to focus on a personal film project. The statement continued that Crafton believes that the absence of core leadership has resulted in repeated confusion in direction and significant delays in the overall project. What I don't understand is if someone's not doing their job, why did you not fire them then? And then hire new people? Why wait that long? If last year they were giving you problems, why would you not then hire people to replace them? Or, you know, take other people at the company and raise them in position and pay and all that. Regarding the reported $250 million payout, Crafton says that they had dedicated 90% of the earnout to 3 former executives. No wonder he sold his fucking company, bro! No wonder these doofuses sold this fucking company, bros. We're gonna get $83 million each. Yeah, I mean, I get that. But why are you complaining then that you got kicked out of the company? They're complaining because they're not getting that money now. See, when you play stupid games, you win stupid fucking prizes. I mean, it's really just that simple. If you sell your company based on a figure that you're not getting initially, you have to go into it expecting to not get that figure. Like if someone said, "I'll buy Dark Titan Media in Varadark, and I'll buy the entity of in all your social medias online for $1 million," but it wasn't immediate, I would be like, what the fuck do you mean? Oh, if I hit specific sales targets. But it's in a case like this, right? It's based on like meeting deadlines and financial goals, why would you ever do that? Like, if somebody ever said, oh, I'll buy it for $1 million in 3 years, fuck you. What? What? Especially for a scummy company like this. Now, listen. I didn't love Callisto Protocol. I thought it had a lot going for it. I was pissed that they took the ending from you and then they sold the ending back to you as DLC. But Crafton's the reason why Callisto Protocol got fucked over, because those doofuses sold their company to Crafton, and then Crafton said, no, you have to release this by the date that we are demanding. And then they had to. Maybe you shouldn't sell your companies to absolute fucking scum of the earth entities. What? So stupid. Oh my gosh! I might be selling my company to this other scummy entity, but surely this scummy entity won't fuck me over. Surely, guys. The 250 million may not be USD, but South Korean won. No, it is USD. Allegedly. I mean, that's the information that we've heard. There's been multiple sources that have said $250 million. So, yeah. I mean, allegedly, they were supposed to be getting fucking paychecks of the payouts of a lifetime. Though, true. You could be correct. Thank you for the 5. Apparently, though, it's USD. Despite the changes at the top of the company, Crafton says it's dedicated to creating the best game for its players. And maybe this is true. But when has Crafton ever done anything good for their customers? Never. Crafton is a company that just wants to make as much money as possible. And when you're talking about $250 million, that is insane. That is insane. Why the fuck would they help you get that money out of them? Of course they're not going to do that. One excuse, and they can get out of paying $250 million. Yeah. Hey, I'm keeping it a buck with you guys. If this was my company, I'd fuck those guys over too. Yep, true. I'd probably do it too. If it meant I was getting a $100 million payout of that, yeah. I'm just being honest. If I was those losers at Crafton, you bet your bottom dollar I'd find every fucking way to get out of that paycheck. Yep. True, because it's only lining their pockets more. I think it's funny that these individuals thought that they were actually going to get this deal. You really think a company like Crafton is going to just hand you that money? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Do you really think a company is just going to pay that out if they can get around it? No. No, they're not. Vera is losing money not offering a Bilbo plushie. Vera, you're okay. The claims of my gayness are clearly overblown. Whoa! It's Knight's boyfriend! Hey, what's up? Sorry, Knight. I had to do it. What was I supposed to say, huh? Well, how was I supposed to avoid that? Anyway, guys, I'll be wrapping up stream in just a minute or two. Thank you all so much for stopping by tonight. I do appreciate it. I was on Wicked Virtue's channel earlier. We chatted about a lot of stuff during this stream. The primary topic we discussed was stop killing games, just because there was the new document. I'll be talking about that in a video tomorrow, most likely. But yeah, thank you for being here. Of course, I do appreciate it. On Saturday, I'll be live again. We'll be playing something. I don't know what we'll be playing yet. Do I hate myself enough to go back to Death Stranding 2, or do I want to finish Liza P? It's a tough call, guys. It's a tough call. It really is. Creature Kind playthrough 2. New Game Plus. But yeah, I'll be live again on Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Anything else? Anything else? Anything else? I don't think so. Any last minute questions? Put them into chat. What do you mean I have to work to earn that bonus? Well, these people didn't work and they thought that they were going to get a bonus. Seems pretty stupid, in my opinion. Dustborn. I'm not playing Dustborn this weekend. I just got done Creature Kind. Why are you spamming? Why are you spamming? Why are you spamming? Why are you spamming? Jeez. It doesn't matter. I mean, the stream's about to be done anyway. But yeah, truly riveting end of the stream. For sure. But guys, thank you all so much for your donations. Of course, I really do appreciate them. I appreciate all of your support. And we'll be playing more video games on Saturday. I don't know exactly what yet. I'm pretty sure we're going to be playing and finishing Liza P. Only time will tell. But yeah, guys, on your way out, make sure to leave a like on the stream. We only need 6 more to hit 300. I'd really appreciate if we could get there. And we talked about a lot of different things tonight. We talked about Subnautica. We talked about developers not being afraid. We talked about Halo. And we do have a couple other topics that we could talk about in another stream in the future. But yeah, check out today's videos if you haven't already seen them. New videos tomorrow per usual. Thank you so much for being here, guys. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for stopping by. And have a really fantastic rest of your evening, everyone.